I used to not even be able to go 5 minutes without hitting my vape. I was going through 2 Juul pods a day, which is the equivalent of 2 packs of cigarettes, in one single day. Actually, the day that I quit vaping and smoking, I went through 2 Juul pods and it wasn't even 11:30 a.m. I had a serious problem, man. I remember I started a brand new job. This is pre-COVID. I was working corporate sales. I was working in the office every single day. And I would meet different managers of the different sales teams and different salespeople. We'd have these little coffee chats. And 2 minutes in, because I couldn't stand the interaction, I would have these fucking cravings where I couldn't even focus on what they were saying. Right? Maybe you can call it ADHD, but the way it manifested itself was through the form of a withdrawal. And I couldn't focus, and all I was thinking was just like, I'm gonna hit my vape. And I swear to God, dude, there was a time where I was speaking with somebody that wasn't that important. They weren't a manager or anything like that. It was just like another worker. And I couldn't care less about what they were saying. Dude, I took my vape. It was the Juul. The Juul is very stealthy and small. I could literally like hide it in my fist and just have the top piece pop out a little bit. And dude, I literally started hitting the vape in front of this person. Thinking I was slick, right? Because I would like ghost and exhale it or ghost inhale it or whatever the fuck it's called. So that there wouldn't be any vape when I would go. I would basically just be like, and then when I would exhale, there wouldn't be any smoke, right? Inside of the office. And they asked me, they were like, dude, are you vaping? And I'd be like, oh no. Dude, I was a crackhead. That's how bad my relationship with vaping was. The reason why it got this bad is because I used it to escape from my emotions. And in society, I think we most certainly downplay the gravity that nicotine as a drug has, right? It's so socially acceptable. It's just like vaping, smoking, that's nothing. But it's not just physically addictive in the sense where I have withdrawals every 5 minutes. It's also tied to my identity. You know? Because I grew up feeling like a fucking loser and a social outcast for the majority of my life. You know, I went to an Arabic school when I was 4, then we moved to a German school from like 6 to 8 years old, then from 8 to 9 I went to a British school, then I went to an American school. I just moved around all the time in this multicultural setting, a context that kept changing. It just made no sense to me, so I built no social foundation as a child. I didn't speak good English when I went to the American school, and all my teachers thought I was retarded, but they also thought that I was just like putting a mask, which was really strange. They thought I was pretending to be stupid. And because of that, they would bully me a lot. Or they would like push me. Just in this weird way. I was bullied, man. Let's just call it what it is. I was bullied by the teachers. And it led me to dig even a hole that's even deeper and deeper for myself socially, where I just accepted my role as a loser. I accepted my role as other people's doormats. And it's fucking raining. Push this back a little. So I felt like a loser, right? I accepted my role as a loser. And because my dad smoked cigarettes in my room for as long as I can remember, even when I was 4, I remember he accidentally burnt me with a cigarette on his arm. And throughout my upbringing, yeah, he wouldn't only smoke in the house, he would smoke in my room. When he was pissed, he was mad at something I did when I was like 4 or 5, he would light a cigarette in my room and yell at me. And because of that, I always smelled like smoke. I always smelled like an ashtray. So at the age of, I think it was 12? I don't quite remember the age. Maybe 13? I was walking down the hallway at school and somebody said, somebody smelled my hoodie and they were just like, "Do you smoke?" And my initial response to that was like, "Fuck yeah, I smoke," even though I didn't at the time. But for the first time ever, I felt acknowledged. For the first time ever, I felt cool in the eyes of somebody else, even though I accepted my role as other people's doormats and just felt like I just accepted that I was this outcast loser. So the fact that I was acknowledged by somebody else, in the back of my mind, I always knew I was going to be a smoker just because of how my dad would smoke in my room and in the house and everything. But this solidified it even more. And it made it the rational choice for me was to become a smoker and start smoking in order to appear more cool in front of people and in order to open more doors for myself. And so I did. I remember the first time I was offered cigarettes at the age of 13 by like an older kid in my compound. I said yes, and it was a no-brainer decision for me. It was a no-brainer decision. I started smoking basically every day starting then. So this addiction was so deeply rooted in my identity as well, and I think that's the tricky part of an addiction like smoking or vaping or nicotine is it's stealthy and it binds to your identity and who you are. And therefore the quitting process is very similar to how you start, right? The way the addiction creeps up on you is very similar to how you quit the addiction. You need to change your identity. You need to replace the negative addiction with a positive one. That's like the really simple, vanilla way of saying it. But the way that I did it is I couldn't just quit vaping. I couldn't just quit vaping and wait. That would never have worked. The first time I quit was the last time I ever vaped. It was a one-shot attempt and I successfully did it. It was May 13th, 2020. Today is February 22nd, 2026. So we're almost at 6 years here. And the way I did it is I went all fucking in on my self-development, and the foundation of my self-improvement was my fitness. I got into calisthenics, I got into burpees. I became so fucking addicted to the burpees. I'm talking prison-style burpees. You know, like in the movie Shot Caller, where they're doing 500 Navy SEALs, that style. I found this group online of people that just did burpees and talked about quitting drugs and their self-improvements, and I became so fucking hooked, man. I hit these burpees, at a minimum of 100 burpees every single day, sometimes more, that we did in that group. And I didn't miss a single fucking day for 9 months straight, even when I had a sciatica and this nerve in my knot that was all fucked up, and it would shoot pain from my nerve all the way to my lower back, all the way into my glute, and I couldn't even walk. Dude, I couldn't even walk. But I still managed to do the burpees every single day. And I rehabilitated from that injury through burpees. It makes no fucking sense. I went all in on my macros and my nutrition. I went all in with my journaling, my wake up time. I had a morning routine where I would journal the fucking pain that I would feel. Because in addition to another element to take into account when you quit is nicotine acted as this emotional band-aid or this crutch for me. So as soon as I removed it, I had to deal with all these emotions that I've been bottling away from the age of 13. All these things that I decided to never face. I think it's like this with all addictions. You use addictions in order to escape temporary pain. And so when you remove the emotional band-aid, you don't have to deal with all of these emotional issues that you put away for so long. And you have to sit with them in silence and deal with the pain. And as painful as it is, it's the greatest form of self-discovery. because you truly learn who the fuck you are by facing the pain head on and not escaping it. The fact of the matter is, man, that's what it takes for you to change your life and to quit an addiction. You have to sit with the pain, and you have to accept who you are beneath the emotional band-aids that you've been applying your whole life. But it's one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself. It is the greatest eye-opener that you can do. That's all I got for you guys today. Take care.